Hello, good evening, everyone. Or good afternoon, everyone. We are live. So super excited to be going live and welcome to the SA Property Investors Network. You guys are probably joining me from the Facebook page, the YouTube page. Just let me know down below where you are watching me from, ladies and gents. And all of this is done in preparation for the next hour or so, where we are going live and starting with round one IoTY judging. But joining us, ladies and gents, for this session, we thought it will be awesome to talk about. Yes, we are starting with Investor of the Year and the actual set of judging for Investor of the Year, but the whole goal of the Investor of the Year is to talk to discuss live individuals and how they're changing their courses of their lives using property as a vehicle. So the whole point of INTY, to sum it up, is to hear how average and ordinary South Africans are changing the course of their lives through property investments. And for us to not just go by it and go through the judging session, we decided to start a podcast where we will be interviewing some of the heroes, and I'll be interacting with some of the contestants, the past contestants, and hearing some of the things they've done, the stories, who they are, what challenges they had to overcome to do property deals. And joining me for the session today, ladies and gents, is none other than one of our judges for round one, Colette. So Colette, I'll let her tell us a bit about herself, who she is. But Colette, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic, thank you. I'm sitting in Cape Town at the Airbnb right now, and it is hot and humid in Cape Town.
Oh, you're having fun. Hey, it is quite humid here in Joburg, so what will we do to swap places with you? Hey?
Absolutely. So yeah, it is. It's good weather today, but I'm very very happy to join Investor of the Year and being a judge for this prestigious event.
Awesome. So Colette, maybe tell me a bit about yourself, right? Because like I said, there is the Investor of the Year, the actual judging of these individuals. But the whole point for my introduction, the whole point of Investor of the Year is to almost bring out the stories. And I love this particular podcast because I get to interview and just get in the thinking of some of my heroes, some of the people that I look up to understand how they started, where they always in property, do they work a 9 to 5? I want to know more a bit about you, Colette. I mean, you're part of BSA Law, you're conveyancer, and it is quite daunting. But tell me about you, your story. Hey, how did you start? Did you always want to go into conveyancing?
So I always say that conveyancing found me. I didn't pursue this generally, but it was a good thing that it did because it really has become my passion. To put it that way, I my journey is I've started 21 years ago in the conveyancing law firm where I decided I want to be more actually started out as a receptionist, and from there built my repertoire and built my knowledge, and just found the love of conveyancing as such. So I've got 21 years conveyancing and property finance experience. I apologies for the cars that's driving around. I'm not too sure if you can hear that. Um, but yeah, so I'm an admitted attorney, conveyancer, and notary, currently with Bruno Samau Attorneys. I have vast experience in the conveyancing and property field. I was also at one point at Nedbank Property Finance, where I worked on the JSE listed portfolio and co-administered a 40 billion rand property portfolio. So it is, with regards to, the expertise that I have, really helps to have the financial aspect and financial background combined with the conveyancing experience to see the whole picture at the end of the day, which makes it so fantastic because I've been on both sides of the fence.
Geez, that's actually inspiring. So you started as a receptionist, and I do want to delve a bit more into that detail. So talk to me. So Where did you start, if you are permitted to share, and what led to you actually wanting to become a conveyancer? And when you said you built up knowledge, it was pretty hard, I'm guessing, starting entry level at this law firm as a receptionist. Talk to me about the journey of when you actually got admitted, the hard work and everything you had to go through to fulfill that, hey?
Perfect. So I started as a receptionist in Pretoria CBD, was staying in Bronkhorstspruit at the time. So we did a lift club every morning, 5 o'clock. We were in the car, but we were dedicated to go to the office. It was a small two-man law firm, and I was the reception, the messenger, the cleaner. I took people to court for whatever the case may be, and I just realized, so I had a vast experience of the litigation and the conveyancing, and I realized that I didn't have a love for litigation or the litigation front and the courts. And I really found it, that the property industry and then the conveyancing side very interesting, and I decided to go into that full time. Um, I then moved to a firm called a firm on the East Rand, where I became a conveyancing paralegal, and that's when I decided that I want to be more in life. So I started studying through UNISA part time. Used to start at 7 o'clock at night, after I've done my full day of work, go through to about 11, and then that was about 4 years of my life. And yeah, I got admitted as an attorney and conveyancer in 2017. And then I had the opportunity to join Nedbank Property Finance. I got they headhunted me, and to expand on my corporate and commercial experience, especially from a financial point of view, I decided to pursue that leg to increase my knowledge with regards to the financing aspects. And I was in the JSE listed team, and we dealt with so many interesting, complex matters. It was food for me.
Geez, that sounds amazing. So now you're in Nedbank, probably the like the your dream job at the time. But on a talk, I think the whole point of this podcast is to understand some of the stories, because I believe we only grow and we get inspired by hearing each other's stories. And I wouldn't be where I am right now if I didn't hear the story of one of my mentors, Ansel Walker and Simone Walker, of how they had to face adversity and come from the UK back to South Africa, and some maximums and credit cards to just to be able to put food on the table and pay for courses to upskill themselves to get to a point where they're able to live out their
Mm.
dreams. So have you ever gone through any difficult situations that you've had on your journey that you had to overcome to maybe get to where you are right now? And if it's comfortable, can you share that with us?
Um, Let me have a think. So obviously, I remember in my third year, obviously I had to pay for my own studies, especially with my LLB. I remember in my third year, I didn't have handbooks. I didn't have funds for handbooks, so I actually ended up selling fudge to get. I remember that quite well. But in respect of inspiration, I was working for a gentleman. His name was Mr. Diaz, and he inspired me to. He always had the thing of. I can't hear you. Oh. He always had the thing of apply your mind, and that stuck with me because most people just go through life just repeating what they know. But if you apply your mind, you realize that you actually need to really think from a broader perspective, and broaden your horizon and upskill yourself on a daily basis or yearly basis. That's very, very important.
Definitely, geez, that is so beautiful. Hey, that is so beautiful. So Colette, we are going live in the next, call it 45 minutes on the Investor of the Year. And talk to me about your involvement with Sapin. Hey, so you joined a few months ago, and you've taken it quite nicely. Talk to us about how you actually, so now the later part of your life. So you joined Nedbank, you dealing with quite some large clients, some we've spoken about, some inspirational stuff, and big clients that you've assisted. Talk to us of the next phase of your life now. You part of the network. How did that come about?
So I actually attended a 2-day workshop. For me, it's always interesting to see the different aspects of property, and I was wondering how it would look from an investor's point of view. And I saw a 2-hour workshop regarding that, and I thought, you know what, let me attend it, because it's always interesting from the bank side and from the conveyancing attorney side, but how does it look from an investor side? And that was my curiosity. So I joined a SAPN 2-day or 2-hour workshop. I liked what I saw, and then I attended a 2-day workshop, and I was actually quite inspired of what was presented, because they worked on the whole property holistically. There's many moving parts in the property industry, and they touched base on every single aspect of the property, not just conveyancing or the financial aspects, but we're talking about zoning, we're talking about you know the the actual property, what you can do with it afterwards, the legalities behind it. So, from a holistic point of view, it just made sense to become part of the network, because even me as a conveyancer, there's always something new that you will learn, and there's always a conveyancing is always a move, has as waves, and there's always room for movement, and there's always room for improvement. So to see what Sapin offered and the insight that it gave, it just inspired me to actually become more involved, and to a point where I actually do coaching as well.
Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Like I said, ladies and gents, we will be going live in the next few minutes at 1 o'clock. So make sure your alarms are on, and you are attending and listening to the stories more than anything. This was Colette, and this small segment was just to interview some of my full power team members, Colette being a very big part of that with her work at PSA Law. So there's no conveyancer that I'll ever recommend apart from Colette, ladies and gents. But from me to Colette, we'll see you guys at 1 o'clock. Straight, hey? Thank